Hello everybody, it is I, GoGeezer48. I'm bringing you an information list on my Kagero deck and my Royal Paladin deck for the English format. I've also got a information about Kurd and cosplay. It is a Vanguard distributor in the UK. So yeah, if you look at the times, it will indicate to what I'm actually doing. So if you wish to skip anything, be my guest. I just took my time at doing this. Please enjoy the video and do comment at the end if you wish. Okay then everybody, we'll start with the Kagero. It's more my second line of a for a Vanguard deck. But I'd probably say it's got a fairly strong setup currently. I haven't got all the necessary cards. Or maybe about one short on my Kagero. Maybe two, I don't know yet. Maybe four short for my Royals. So yeah, I'll get started with the first one. Let's start with the singulars in the first grade 3. We'll start with the Dragon Monk Goku 10k hitter. Yeah, basically, when he does a drive check when he's attacking, if he draws a grade 3, I get to retire an opponent's grade 1 or lower. Very good in situations where if I don't mean it's a plus and a side, because if I do get a grade 3, mean true, I haven't got a strong defense, but it knocks away boosters that would aid the opponent in combat. Next up, we've got Vortex Dragon. Once again, another 10k attacker. Soul Charge every main phase. He gains plus 2,000. That's if you have 5 face-up five face-up damage and 8 in Soul. You Mega Blast at 5 counterblasts, and you do a Soul Blast of 8. This allows you to retire 3 of your opponent's rear guard. I combined them with the soul charging effects of the Embodiment of Victory Alpha. So that's my running ability to increase the soul quicker by putting 3 cards in soul to superior ride and then just basically wait out another couple of turns just to get what I need. So yeah, that's them. Then we've got my 3 Dragonic Overlord. I've got an SP, the normal starter deck version, and an alternate arts. That's what it is. So far I've opened 6 boxes and I've got 3 SP. But yeah, in my last 4 boxes I had 2 alternate Dragonic Overlord. So I didn't think that was too bad for box pulls. Yeah, so in the final grade 3s we got 1, 2, and 3 Embodiment of Victory Alpha. 3's enough. I might take out 1 and put in another Dragonic Overlord for more battle strength. But yeah, basically Counterblast 4 gains 1 extra critical plus 3k power. Not really an important thing. It's more that if I can get into the Soul, Embodiment of Victory Alpha, Tar, Embodiment of Armor Tar, and Bar, and then Soul Blast those 3, it flips all face down, Counterblast, all face down on damage, flat back face up serve. I've got 5 face downs, I flip all 5 back up, so it's quite useful in a tight situation. Yeah, so let's move on to grade 2. In grade 3 I run 9. Was it 9? Sorry, I run 8. Yes, I run 8. Yeah, 8 grade 3. Grade 2s are my biggest section. Start with the lowest of the powers. I run 2 Wyvern Strike Tages. This is more for killing the far back row. I only run 2 because I don't necessarily need their power for a Vanguard. I don't want to really draw into something I don't need. But yeah, so they're more to kill off the back rows, aim for their boosters, take them down. Yeah. Next on we have here we go. 3 Berserk Dragon, another back row killer. Counterblast 2 when he's called or rided. Knock out a grade 2 or lower rear guard. Sorry, it's more the small necessities. It just takes out something that might be an issue, like if a card that can be helping your opponent's royal vanguard or rear guard knock it out, take it out of the way, get rid of it. Yeah. Currently, I only run 3 of the Dragon Knight Alpha. I need one more really to complete the power up. That will almost near give me a more guarantee setup for a superior ride, even though it's not exactly necessary. Yeah, so yeah, if I have him as a Vanguard, and I have Bar and Tar in the rear guard, I counterblast one and soul charge both to superior ride. Yeah. So that's really the current setup for the Grade 2s, apart from having 4 Dragon Knight Nehalem. Yeah, basically the big 10k beaters of the deck. So yeah, running with those, I'm running at 12 Grade 2, which then puts me to 20 in the higher grades. Yeah. Now we're on to the finals of the main forces, the Grade 1s. Starting with the base, I run 2 nullifiers. The Wyvern Guard of Barry. Basically call to rear guards. Call to the Guardian Circle when you're being attacked. Ditch a card to ditch a Kagero unit to nullify the attack. Just basically a instant stop. Yep. Next up, 4 Flame of Hope Airmo. I tend to find Airmo fairly good no matter what state of Kagero format you use. Because some people probably say nah, it's no use, but I find it more useful because hit the van, you get it means 6k plus beta. Plus, if you get a card you don't want when you hit, you can like a grade 3 or grade 0 draw trigger that you don't like. You prefer to have something else. Ditch it, draw another. So it's not bad in the sense. I've had a few issues where I made bad timings with it, but you can never make the right timing when it comes to doing that sort of move. Yeah, 3 Gojo. Probably will ditch those 3 out for Iron Tail Dragon when the next set comes out in March. I will be getting 2, maybe 3 boxes by the end of March, so I might do a box opening. Yeah, so I'll be looking to get myself some Blazing Flare for the Kagero, and hoping to get some more useful cards for the Royal Paladins when of course there is. I mean, with the set 6 coming out in April, that will also be very helpful. Speaking of which, I went to the Hyper Japan and spoke to Boshi Road, talking to him about the 6th set coming out after set 2 for English. And I was discussing that and they were saying that maybe Bartgal might not be banned after set 2 because by set 3 it was a clearly strong card setup with when you look at the Palamedes and all that, but it's not. Without those, you can't really. And plus, you've got the new limit breaks, so that's going to add some difference to the combat section. So it might leave Bartgal still open for combat time. So that's not bad in a sense for Royal Paladin. I think that'd be quite good, helpful for me. Yeah, and finally, 4 embodiments of Armor Bar. More basically the 8k beta. Of course, like Nehalem, pure powerful vanilla of the type. And plus, it's also for Alpha to get the part of the superior ride off. So yeah, I run a section of 13. Yeah, 13 grade 1. So then puts me up to 33 in the main units. Finally, we move on to the grade 0 section, the trigger lineup. Of course, we've got 4 critical trigger, the Raksha, Draconic Dragon Mage Yaksha, critical trigger. In the rear guard, counts in the rear guard, it can become a 6k beta if you retire an opponent's rear guard, but that's not necessarily the reason for him. He's mainly there just to increase the beating power. Purely meta style. I mean, some decks will go with more stands, but currently more critical are the current hitters in the Vanguard section right now for Royals and Kageras and TCG. But not only have I got the action, but I've got the 4 critical for Tar, so I'm running 8 critical in Kagero, so that now means I've got a very high chance in delivering fatal blows when they don't need it. I mean, it also increases my shield because I'm running with that. I've got 80k shield, but I'm running less on other types, of course. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll show you as soon as I get to it. Of course, you've got the 4 heal trigger, clearly essential in every. It's the mandatory thing that for any Vanguard player to use at least 4 heal triggers. I don't think I've ever seen anybody use less. I don't think. But yeah, of course. Yeah. Finally, we've got 2 stand trigger. This is to surprise. This is if say late game I don't get a single stand trigger, they can only assume that maybe I'm getting draw triggers. And they might say no guard if they think that I've gone through all the critical they think that I've got. And if I've gone through 8 critical, then they're pretty guaranteed safe. So attack with the rear guard unit, get the stand trigger off in the Vanguard, and they're pretty stuck after that if they think that they can't guard that. And then finally to draw trigger, Monica, of course, to basically add a few cards to hand. I don't, as you can see, I use a high potential of 10k guards instead of having draw triggers and ditching, say, stands. I mainly go this because then at least I've got more protection over the current fighting style. I mean, having 5ks as opposed to having, say, another 2 10k is a far better choice in the grade 0 section, for my opinion. Yes, and finally, we've got the starting Vanguard Lizard Soldier Conroe. Pardon me, I think I swallowed something. Yeah, so of course, when you ride a Kagero monster on top, you move him to rear guard, counterblast 1, retire it to such a grade 1 or less Kagero. With Conroe, I don't use him heavily. It's more the fact that once he's been right on, he just goes to the rear guard and he just becomes a booster. It's more a late game effect. I don't use him early game. Never. Even if I only have 1 grade 1 in hand and I get it for 4 turns, I don't counterblast with him. I wait till the near to point end game. Like, do I need Conroe to give me something that is more important, like a nullifier or something that can give me a good game safety net. So yeah, I don't tend to counterblast the Conroe as many people would. It doesn't make any difference. I mean, it's a 5k booster for the long term of the game. Plus, it's an ice sort of promise that they might say, I don't like it sitting there. He might use it, and they might waste a counterblast on something that could crucially make a difference later in game. But yeah. So that's the Kagero deck, the 50 card setup. We'll move on to the Royal Paladin now. This is more my favourite setup. I mean, it's not the strongest completely yet. It still lacks 4 cards that I believe currently are needed for this deck. But yeah, I shall get started, and yeah, I'll probably post at the end what exactly would be needed for the deck, even though I'll probably say it now. Oh yeah, and like I said in the section, remember that at the end of the video to take a look at the information about Kurden cosplay. They're the UK suppliers that I know of they just supplied me with the 4 boxes that got me most of the cards that I now use in the current deck. What you saw in the first one, I've used. In the second box that I did get here, that I couldn't find my camera sadly, I got a SP. Overlord and Alfred, which was very good. I picked up a Bart Gal from the shop attendee, shop helper of Kurden cosplay, so that helped me with a Bart Gal. And I've picked up a lot more from the 4 boxes. That was really the most I got. So yeah, let's start off with the 3 night, what are they called again? Sorry. Solitary Night Ganslot. They're all the shiny, of course. I picked up 4 Ganslot in the 4 boxes, 3 double R's and 1 SP. I was very impressed. I was talking to the shop owner. I was saying about before to get an SP in one of these boxes, and I pulled it. It wasn't Ganslot. It was another card. It'll come up in a minute. But I was talking to him and I was discussing certain card, and he was like, it's not exactly the best image. I mean, they could have gone for the SP, but I do agree. It was a nice pull. But yeah, an SP Ganslot was a very nice pull to go with my Royal Paladins. I run, of course, at this current point, 2 King of Knights Alfred. I'm planning to get a 3rd one that'll go in this deck. I might knock off either one of my other two, so maybe one of the Gad slots. I'm not too sure yet. But yeah, so I'm going with a third Alfred. This is more Alfred beatdown than anything else. So yeah, I'm sure everybody's familiar with the King Knights. For every Royal Paladin in the rear guard, he gains +2k during the turn, and counter +3. Call it a superior. Call a Royal Paladin of grade 2 or less. Yeah. 2 Lohen Grin. This is for this is more just a beat down. If I get say Alfred in my first hand as opposed to Lohengrin in my first hand as opposed to Alfred, I might use Bart Gal counterblast with Lou and get in the superior rider to increase his soul. Then again, if I get to 8 soul and I have a second one in hand, I might ride something else over him, maybe Alfred, and then put a Lohengrin in the rear guard to make it more make him look more fierce as a rear guard person. I mean, a rear guard, they don't tend to guard as much as say a Vanguard, and if that's where the tactics sort of come to play. Yeah, and finally I run 2 Crimson Butterfly Bridget. I mean, I've got 9 grade 3, but the Bridget's power comes from the free Gan slot that I would recycle for the Blaster Blade units. So instead of having, say, if I have like 7 in the deck, I could probably get another 10 out of it with Bridget, with the Gan slot, so I can get 10 things, and that might make a difference late game if I have to end up with using Bridget as a main Vanguard. But yeah. Next up, we move on to grade 2. We of course have got the common 4 Gancelot. Sorry, Gancelot. Gallatin. What am I thinking? Yeah, 4 Gallatin, the Knight of Silence. So yeah, they're the pure 10k beater, just really driving. Basically, a grade 3 royal, grade 2, so in attack power. Next, we have the Blaster Blades. I run I run 4 of them, but I've got the 2 Star Deck ones, and I've got the SP Blaster Blade unit, and I've got the alternate art. These, of course, came in the 4 boxes as well, which I was very impressed with. I must admit that to get 6 SPs in total currently from 6 boxes, that's quite. I'm pretty sure SPs are meant to be a higher rarity state, but yeah, that was quite an impressive set of pulls to get 2 Blaster Blades, 1 SP, 1 alternate art, and to get another Alfred as well in those boxes. I got another Alfred, that was quite good. But yeah, so that's my grade 2. So yeah, I'm running only 8 grade 2s. I don't use Randolph. I don't think it's particularly strong. Tristan, as I was speaking to a fellow Vanguardist, he doesn't believe Tristan's very good either. I only used it for a while because I didn't really think it was strong, but he pointed me in a better direction. But yeah, I used this deck, well, just before I got the 4 boxes, I used this deck against a Galahad deck. He didn't use the Soul Saver, but he did have the Galahad, and it didn't do too bad. It won all the matches it played against it. I played him with a Kagero deck. He used a Nova Grappler with a Kagero deck before it upgraded. So I was using Lizard the runner Undux. It did have a very, very strong game. I had a very good hand. I had 4 damage, he had 5, if I remember correctly, and he attacked with the Vanguard, and I carelessly let him let the attack go through, and he got a critical trigger. So I blew a game on that. I mean, I could have defended myself quite strongly, but with only using 15 to guard against these 14. But it was a mistake I made, and I have to live with it. But yeah, I think my deck's stronger with these new cards. I don't know 100% sure. As I said, until I actually get into a proper tournament, I wish there was tournaments where I lived, I would be able to know more, but for the current time being, it would be people I go visit, see at conventions or something until I know my deck's stronger. But yeah, anyway, so you've seen the grade 2s, the Interceptors, the grade 3 Twin Drivers. Let's move on to the grade 1 boosters. We start off with 2 Isolutes. Like with the Kagero, I only use 2. Mainly because of this current format, you don't need the heavy nulls. You need more the attack strength. The nulls just don't seem to give much hate. Plus, it can burn your hand very quickly. Yeah. I've got 2 Starlight Unicorn. I will be ditching those out for Pongal, for the cat in the Royal Paladins when it comes out in the next set. that'll give me more soul saving charge. I might go with 3 there and ditch one of the other cards in my deck. I mean, I know there's a few other grade. I think there's a few other grade 1. No, yeah, Young Pegasus Knight. That's in double R's. So yeah, my chance of getting that. So yeah, I'll probably ditch out those for Young Pegasus Knight. Ditch out the ditch out the Lianes for the Pongles. This will give me stronger. This will give me stronger fights in power, more than what I hope to believe. But yeah, so yeah, Corn Rear Guard, give plus 2k to anything in the rear guard, anything else in the rear guard or the Vanguard. Next up, we got the 4 Wingle. You got the 2 alternate arts and the 2 normal, mainly just to help the 4 Blaster Blade units. That's pretty much why he's there. He'll probably stay there till don't know what's going to come sixth set yet, so who knows against the Gold Paladins and the now Krimi. 3 lane, don't run 4. I don't really find Liane needed as a starting Vanguard either way. It's more when it comes to Alfred, I can put it behind it and maybe ditch a card that's unuseful that might be able to get me something else instead of having to drive it. Which games I get. I mean, it burns the deck quicker, yes, but it's more the essential just to get certain cards out of my hand that aren't needed, like a grade 3 that won't help me. Because I could ditch a grade 3 and draw a Nullify, and that's helpful. I have found that the ditching with Liane has given me put Fluent some aid in most fights. Same with Aramo, it's helped me in a strategic point. Yeah, of course, the 4 Little Sage Marin, with just a sit-like bar, just an 8k beater. So yeah, those are the grade 1s. So in grade 1s, I run, I think. Yeah, I run the 15 standard. Yeah, 15 as a wooden. Yeah, so 9. So yes, 9 grade 3, 8 grade 2, so that makes 17. 15 grade 1. So then let's see, for 17, 19, 29. Okay, right. 9, 17, plus 15. Sorry, and 17, 22. 32, yeah, sorry, 30, so yeah, 32 total. That leaves our 18 in the grade 0. So yeah, we've got the 4 standard heal trigger, the Liane, of course, like any other deck for heal triggers to protect yourself in late in game. Not very good when you get it as a first damage, but it has happened. Yep, next up we'll go with the 4 critical Epona. So yeah, heavy beatdown. Of course, I've got a 5th critical Lou. I need to get 3 more Lou to increase my criticals. I'll probably ditch 2 more Governor, another Governor, and 2 Flogel to increase my critical section. I'm going for the power over the stands at this current point. Stands might come in later decks. As you saw from my Royal Paladin deck on Beyond, that is the current deck I would be using by set. Yeah, near enough set 2 I could probably cover it all. Flogel, of course, as for stand triggers. Of course, until the more criticals, I can't get less stands in. And of course, I've got the 3 Governor, as opposed to 4, because I've taken Lewin. I've decided to ditch 1 draw trigger to increase my shields. So yeah, the 16 triggers, and of course I run at 2 Barkgirl. Now some will say why, and I'll answer. Of course, while I have 1 Barkgirl as the Vanguard, of course, this is more for field play, soul charging. Sometimes, say in the first game, I get 2 Barkgirl, 1 in hand, 1 on the field, and they just say, let's say Tejas gets into play and pops him off, and the opponent thinks, yes, that's 1 nasty little fucker out of the way. Not anymore. Yeah. So yeah, I run 2 Barkgirl. 1 is also for late gamers. Say I need 2 cards in play and I get Alfred. If I've already soul charged with I've already soul charged with Lou. I've already got something to Sulphur Blaster Blade, and I need something in game to help me out. I might go with Bart Gal, Superior Cool Flogel. So that means I get 2 into play. That's plus 4. That's a 4K plus, and that's 2 monsters in play thanks to with Alfred. So yeah, that's my trigger. That's my deck line. That's on both. So yeah, so for my Royals, I run an 18 grade 0 with 15 grade 1, followed by 8 grade 2 and 9 grade 3. So you go 18, 30, so 18, 33, 41, 50 in that setup. As I said before, I would probably need some actual in-depth gameplay. I do force my mates and literally pester them in a sense to play. They are Yu-Gi players. They don't like Vanguard so much, but I do convince them to give me a game at least at one point. Yeah, and so also with the grade 0s, of course, in the Kagero, it's the standard 17 grade 0. Crap, let's say that was. Yeah, 13. Is it 13? No, I can't remember now. Yeah, 13 grade 1, the 12 grade 2, and the 8 grade 3s. So the Kageras have got a heavy beta section in the grade 2s. The Royal Paladins have not a heavy field called, probably a slightly more streaming. Once I get Akane, Gordon, even when I get set 2, the deck will immediately progress a lot. Get a fast ride deck out of my Kageros, and get a power and get a field power bonus for the Royals. So yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed this. Yeah, so I've got my Kagero and my Royal Paladin decks. These are the decks I'm currently using till these are the current formatted decks till the 24th of March, when I will get, as I said, 2, maybe 3 boxes of the next set. I will do box opening. So yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed this, and yeah, keep on playing card games, people. This is Gogeta48 signing out. So yeah, do check out Kurd and Cosplay. You can find them on Facebook, KERD, and Cosplay is pretty much such. It is run by the owner's name is Simon. If you just contact him on Facebook, you would basically just ask him how much a box will be, how much he'll send certain boxes for to you. He does distribute out throughout the UK. And I've met him. He's a very nice guy. So is the worker Paul Keenan. They're not bad guys. Yeah. So as you can see from the picture here, they've got as the picture will progress, you'll soon see it. They do have a fairly large Vanguard section, and they are getting set 2 in for the 24th of March, I believe. So yeah, on the right you've got Paul, on the left you've got Simon. As I said, very nice people, and they'll be more than happy to distribute Vanguard cards out to anybody who wishes to get them. This is more like my thumbs up to them, and more like a little maybe something promotion. But yes, have a good day, everybody, and keep on Vanguarding.